Good morning, ladies. It's Amber Masterson with Create a Journey, bringing you day 40 of our 100 days of praise and positivity. Today, we're going to be talking about waiting on the Lord and how His plans are so much better than ours. We are also continuing on with our distressed oxide. It's the last day of distressed oxides. Have y'all learned anything this week? Have you found a new way to use your oxides? If so, I would love to hear it in the comments below. All right, let's jump right in with this smooshing of distressed oxides. I'm going to be using Mermaid Lagoon and Wilted Violet today, and I just have the packaging of sticker paper, and so I start off by swiping my oxide on my glass mat. And then I'm going to take that piece of plastic from stickers or stamps or whatever it may be for you. You could even use like a Ziploc bag. And I'm going to start smooshing that off my page. Now, I forgot to washi tape off my verse. Thankfully, I caught it in time. So I washi tape off, and then I'm going to continue smooshing. And I'm adding my blue first, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to add my purple, which is Wilted Violet. Once you put it on there, just kind of lightly spray it with water. And on this one, I did not clean off my paper, so it still had some blue on it, and it looked super cool. It was very mixed in there. I really liked the way it turned out. Past that, I'm going to go ahead and dry it. Now remember, I know I said this earlier this week, but when you use oxides with water, the likelihood that it's going to bleed is highly likely. So just know that when you are using distressed oxides. Okay, I'm using a purple Tombow pen to get my weight all traced out. And then I'm going to move on to my inside. I continued using my Tombow pen for this, and I like the way it turned out. But I wrote, "Your plans are greater than mine." And then I came in with a glaze pen, which I'm kind of obsessed with right now because it's just like glossy and gives a little bit of a three-dimensional look. But I came in and did a little bit of a drop shadow with it. And then I added some doodles and, just like spruced up my page a bit. So I'm going to let you watch this and then we're going to talk. Today I praise God for always being a parachute to catch me when I get ahead of you. Our verse can be found in 1 Peter 3:15, and it says, "In your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you, yet do it with gentleness and respect." Y'all, I really enjoyed this devotion today. I'm kind of like Megan in the sense of I tend to make decisions pretty quickly, and I don't spend a whole lot of time, thinking every avenue out. And sometimes that can get you in trouble, but sometimes it has been very rewarding just to jump when the chance comes. But, I want to kind of go on with her thing about waiting on the Lord. And, we live in a microwave world. Do y'all know what I mean by that? Like, we want it now. We want it like 2 minutes ago. We like things instantly, and we're not the best at being patient. And we want good things to happen, but we want them to happen not later, right now. And when it doesn't happen the way we want, a lot of times we will get impatient with that. Most of us, including myself, probably should grow in the area of patience or trusting God instead of focusing on when are you going to do this? When is it my time to shine? When is my calling going to come to pass? And so that's kind of where I'm headed today. Waiting with patience. Okay, I say this, it is important for us to wait with patience because so much of the time of our lives is waiting on something to happen, waiting on God, waiting on whatever it may be, waiting on that promotion. Change is a process, and we a lot of times want that change, but we don't really like going through the waiting process. But the Bible talks about this, and it says that as we let me actually read it. It's James 1:4. But let endurance and steadfastness and patience have full play, and do a thorough work, so that you may be people perfectly and fully developed, with no defects, lacking in nothing. So what I read from that is, as we develop patience, the Bible's saying that we will finally feel completely satisfied, lacking nothing, even if we're in a waiting phase. So developing patience is key, I believe. Next, I think it's important that we trust God's timing. And this reminds me of the story of Joseph when he waited many years on a dream God had given him. And in that waiting period, he was falsely accused, he was imprisoned before God ever came to tell him what to do. And so even back then, waiting and trusting on him was a huge thing. I know that waiting can be frustrating, but it is imperative, and you can do that when you trust in God. Lastly, I think that there is a time to sow seed and there is a time to harvest. And so there are reasons for those seasons. Sorry, I was getting a text. There are reasons for those seasons, and it's important to know where you're at and to accept that as where you're at and not be frustrated in that moment, because there is a lot that can be learned in each specific season that you're going to face in life. Ladies, I love you guys. You are phenomenal for being on day 40 with me. Wow. 10 days, we're going to be halfway through. That's mind-blowing to me a little bit. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you on Monday.